Guys, we often say nothing lasts forever, and we're seeing that play out right now. Women said that they want to be independent, they want to live their own lives free from the burdens of having a family, raising children, having the responsibilities and the burdens of being held down or stuck in one place. They wanted to live their lives, have an adventure, they wanted to be free. And they got that ultimately. But now consequences have arrived. You see, we're heading into very difficult times. Just a few years ago, we were having broke girls, let me correct myself, hot girl summer. And yet now we're heading into broke girl winter. Women all over social media are crying about over inflation, not being able to pay their bills, that they're suffering and struggling. And I said this years ago that women would say, feminism got us everything that we wanted. Now let's fight it together. I said that the legacy of feminism would live on even if the label went away. And now this is coming to fruition. While there will always be those who will be ride or die and lifelong feminist and, feminist till the very end, people like Lisa Ling who say that she will be feminist to the very end. I'll tell you something about Lisa Ling, all right? Someone like her says something like that, she's not a very strong person, okay? I think that I think she's done some very amazing things traveling to various places, but in terms of strong of character, I don't think so. And I could just as easily see her saying, trying to redefine feminism, or saying that, she doesn't need the label anymore. She will always be a feminist in her heart and identify with the first and the first wave and the second wave and even the third, but she's not subscribing to modern day feminism anymore. Guys, this is the hypocrisy that we will witness. Okay? Women who said that they will always be feminists will turn away from the label and literally start to call you names and badmouth you for saying, no, 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 no. You were ride or die with this thing for like 30 or 40 years, and now you're trying to walk away from it. It does not work like that. You're saying that you want to embrace your femininity when you were deeply in your masculinity for years, and you were proud of it, and you promoted it, right? Guys, the writing is on the wall right now. The Bible literally warned about this, that this would ultimately end up happening. I often point out that the Bible is not simply telling us about things that will come in the future. It's telling us stories of the past. How were these men inspired? They were inspired by things that happened in the past, nations rising and falling. There is so much that we do not know about history. We only know what is written and what we found. There's likely some very great nations we have never even heard of that rose and fall. Maybe even nations greater than the Roman Empire, as insane as it sounds. There's a comment that one of my subscribers left, and he said, "Hey, Angry, this quote in the Bible will make you smile today. This applies to the end times and modern women of today." Isaiah 4, Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. And it says, "In the day, 7 women will take hold of one man and say, 'We will eat our own bread, we will eat our own food, and provide our own clothes. Only let us be called by your name. Take away our disgrace.'" I'll read it again. "In that day, 7 women will take hold of one man and say, 'We will eat our own food and provide our own clothes. Only let us be called by your name. Take away our disgrace.'" What does that tell us? That tells us that this has happened before. That women have decided before that and we know what happened. That's how the Roman Empire fell, where women basically said they wanted to be independent, and then men started to walk away. And then when men walked away and hard times began to arrive, they began searching for strong men, and they were more than happy to share a single man. This is the reality of it. All right. Don't forget that throughout history, only around 30% of men reproduced. Okay, while over 80% of women reproduced, and that's something that stayed consistent all the way up until the modern day era. It was only starting right around the 19 right after the industrial revolution, and more so the baby booming era, where we entered into the social contract that men would sacrifice everything for their society. And in return, every man would have the ability to get to have a wife and to have children and the American dream, which really was the American nightmare. All right, because you have to be you have to be asleep to believe it. And by the time people realize that it was a dream, they finally they did it, it had already become a nightmare. But let's go ahead and jump at this. Look at this comment that I've talked about in other videos already from this lady named Peanut. She actually deleted the comment. Someone pointed out she deleted the comment, and evidently they said there were some other comments she left after this comment. She deleted her original comment, but then she left some other comments, but I can't find those other comments. So she's been going absolutely ballistic. She had posted this comment saying, society is coming. Her name is Peanut Boxes. All right. She said, society is also coming for us women over 30 who have opted out of motherhood and marriage. Society is upset. We don't want to bring future taxpayers and humans bound to indentured servitude. So she's acting like she's doing the world a favor. There's no reason for men and women to hate each other. We are brothers and sisters. We need to stand up for each other as humans and fight for collective freedom. Life and society is set up for us all to fail and never truly get ahead. Isn't that interesting? So it sounds like she got everything that she wanted from feminism, but she did not enter into the family unit. She avoided the family unit, and now society is going downhill. Women are going to be drafted. Okay, so right now there's a bill in the Senate that will be headed back to the House, and the goal is that they want women to be automatically signed up for the draft alongside men. So both men and women will now be automatically signed up for the draft. And now they're also talking about mandatory military conscription for both men and women, because our military reserves is only 1/10 of what it was 50 years ago. So we only have 190,000 people in reserves right now versus 50 years ago where we had 1.9 million. And there are idiots like, oh, we don't need boots on the ground. We're not we'll never need people to defend the country. We have robots. We have robots powered by AI and drones powered by AI. And the U.S. has, people in the U.S. have firearms, so we're good. We're safe. We don't need we don't need an army to protect us. Yeah, that's what these idiots are saying. They're taking lots of copium. But women right now, with high inflation and everything that's happened, they're suffering and they're struggling. So this is a woman who opted out of motherhood. She's in her 30s now, evidently, although she could be in her 40s because people lie. And she opted out of motherhood. She opted out of marriage. And now she wants the community to come in and step up and save women in this position. I responded by saying, so this is a space where everyone can talk. Women are free to talk here. With that said, we keep it real. You opted out of the family unit. You're in your 30s. You opted out of marriage. You opted out of motherhood. And you believe that physical intimacy and possibly even the desire for physical intimacy is a distraction. However, and she mentioned this. If you click read more, she actually mentioned something regarding that. But yeah, you believe that physical intimacy and possibly even desire for physical intimacy is a distraction. However, you want men and women to come together and fight for one another. People give value to receive value. Feminism got women everything that they wanted. If women don't marry or have children, then they lose access to the family unit outside of their immediate family. Hence, if they want access to resources and security that they cannot provide for themselves, or a provider and protector, they must look to the state for those things, which is absolutely right. All right. You have to look for, if you outside of the family unit, if you want a provider and protector, you're going to have to look to the state for those things, because the state has replaced the role of the man. No one wants to provide for and protect someone or something that doesn't give him any value in return. Even simps have ulterior motives. Although in the case of normal non-simp men wanting a return of value for being providers and protectors, I don't see that as an ulterior motive. I see that as being a person of value that is not allowing others to take advantage of him. A man who is giving away his value for free or forced/coerced into giving away his value for free, even under the guise of community, humanity, and love, is really just an indentured servant that is being gaslit. So she was furious about this. She said, red flags and alarm bells going off with your response. You sound predatory. No sex from sisters equal no help. You've just shown me your true colors. And of course, Peter just said to her, you're cooked, which means you're finished. You're done. It's over. Good night. You are the weakest link. But she was really upset about this, and this illustrates what's happening with women right now. And look at this, what she immediately did. What did I say? I said that Simpson modern day women, many of them operate as agents of the state, where it's their job to reallocate wealth and resources from men to the state, and then the state rewards them for doing so. But if they're not doing that, then their value to the state diminishes, and it essentially reaches zero if they're not engaged in that role. If the government is not getting funds, wealth from men through women or through Sims, then it has no value. It doesn't see any value in them. They're not partners. They're just accomplices. There's a very, very big difference. All right. Just because you're an accomplice doesn't mean that your accomplices like one another. All right. Or they won't throw each other onto the bus. All right. We're partners in crime. No, we're accomplices. Okay. No one said that we were friends. I will turn on you. I will turn state witness on you. Like that's really how it is, like with this thing right now. So they're beginning to realize that, because the family unit is gone, because they completely avoided the family unit, and they were out there, they chose the streets over the family, and now hard times have arrived. They're basically saying that, hey, men need to step up and form a community around women and insulate women from the hardships of the world, because we are brothers and sisters. Immediately, though, as you can see, when I said that, well, if a woman is not providing any value to a man, then man is not going to want to provide any value in return. She basically said no physical intimacy from sisters, no help. Like, that was the only thing that she seemed to notice, right? Guys, why did she say sisters? The sisterhood is broke, y'all. The sisterhood is broke. The sisterhood can't provide for themselves anymore. They have to bum meals off men right now. If they don't go out on dates every night, they don't eat. They can't even afford an Uber home. They're like, oh, that guy just gave me the ick. Girl, you're broke. You can't even afford your meal. You can't even afford an Uber. They cut your electricity off. You're behind on rent by 3 months. You're essentially a squatter right now. You give me the icks. Like, did you even wash today? Did you even wash today? Let's be real. You have no electricity in your apartment right now. Okay, you're living like you're using candles to get around. Okay, you don't have heated water right now. Okay, and I know how y'all are. You don't want to bathe in cold water. Okay, so how are you showering? How are you washing up? Are you going to the gym? Oh, you don't have a gym membership because you don't even have money for Uber. You don't have a car, let alone you're on public transportation, right, sweetie? You're taking the bus. Unless you can find a simp to drive you around, you're taking the bus. You don't have it like that. You're living entirely off the simp economy, and even then, it's not enough. And don't think that we don't know what you did. You tried starting up an OnlyFools page, but you couldn't make it on OnlyFools. So now you're back to bumming meals off guys, like Meals on Wheels. All right, but that's going downhill too because the simp economy is moving overseas, and now you're stressing, right? Well, don't come here. I tried to have a reasonable conversation with you, and now you're turning around and trying to get angry at me and call me names. Like, bro, listen, miss me with that energy, okay? I'm not the one out here, literally trying to, get by every day, each day by living off other people, living off men just so that I can eat, all right? I have money in the bank. I can order Starbucks anytime. Can you? No, you can't. You can't even buy Dunkin' Donuts. Guys, this is the reality right now. All right, this is the reality right now. I know I just went off, but I had to go in and just like say it how it is, put it out there as how it is. Men going their own way has won. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video, and just remember that all roads lead to MWA. Men walking away, and cheers.